Bonjour, everyone. Welcome back to Middle of the Res Road podcast.
Season 2. And today we have Morgan Fritzzinger.
Hi. How's it going?
It's going.
Are you excited to be back for season 2?
I'm excited to be back for season 2, and I'm excited to be a host.
Yeah, you guys have like new roles, kind of, in a sense.
Yeah, it seems like we took a little more responsibility and a little more solidarity in the podcast, and that feels very, very good. I feel fortunate. It feels good to have belief in what I'm doing, to have the belief of the other people that are around me, and the MNTCC mainly.
Yeah, I'm just grateful to be a part of the podcast and be a collaborator and contributor and share my experience as a human being. And I'm really grateful for all the opportunities, especially with the collaboration with MNTCC.
I know on behalf of myself, Heidi, the other executive director, our founder, Jim Jones, we're all just really excited to have another entity to offer our organization. So this was a huge honor to bring on. I know we all are super grateful for it, and for all of you and your guys' hard work and dedication that we see every day through your lives, Joel, mostly.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. And I'm trying my best just to continue to help people and continue to resource on things that I know about and opportunities and things of that nature. I just believe that that's my purpose, is just to be a helper of the community, and not only the community, but other Native people all over the upper Midwest. It's like if my voice can be heard and I can help them, I'm going to continue to do that.
That's really beautiful.
It was.
Can you tell us about Jim Jones just a little bit?
Yeah, Jim Jones, he's from the Cass Lake area. He is also the owner of Dirt Divers Cultural Resource Management. They do a lot of work in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Dakota, doing surveys of land for companies, and I don't know. He's all sorts of busy. He's everywhere. He started the MNTCC back in 2021 during like the COVID thing. He was like, where do all these people go? Where do Native American companies go for resources? Where do they go for business? Where do they go to build relationships with non-Native bigger corporations that they want to get their foot in the door? So he came up with the Minnesota Tribal Contractors Council one night, and just it kind of took off from there. He built great relationships with corporations, businesses, to kind of secure funding to make it a bigger picture.
And the whole point of MNTCC is to bring Native contractors and businesses together, right?
Yeah, so we're pretty much an advocate for Native American contractors, businesses, and when you hear Minnesota Tribal Contractors, you instantly think of construction, is what our main focus has been. But as myself, I'm an independent contractor, as are you guys, working for the podcast. So, people like us, we're also advocating for it. You don't have to work in the trades. You can be an independent contractor and do marketing. You could do whatever your niche is. Like, we want it all. We want to see our people succeed, and we just want to help bring the resources to the ground level, see what people need, see what areas we can help, and just continue to build those relationships.
Yeah, Jim Jones, I got to meet him in like 2019, 2018, somewhere in there, when he was doing surveying work
Mm.
on Highway 23.
Oh, yeah.
So when all that went down is the first time I really got to get to know Jim on a more personal level, and he is a really sharp guy. I really appreciate that about him. He really knows his stuff about monitoring and surveying and just that entire process, which is I still don't understand all of it. There's a whole bunch of stuff with all the investigative reports and everything else. He is just a really intelligent individual. That's the impression I get when I talk to Jim. He just knows his stuff, and he knows that this is what he wants to be doing. And I really appreciate that about him, and getting to know him a little bit more, and then collaborating with him with the podcast. He just understands what he wants to do, and he does it. And I really respect that about him.
Yeah, I love working with him. He's the president and the founder of the MNTCC, and he's always just so open-minded and willing to go out there and try to help people.
And he took a huge opportunity. I mean, I don't know if it was an opportunity or more so about the timing during the pandemic. A lot of people took their shots during the pandemic when it was like a scary time, and he did it during the pandemic, and that's inspiring too.
So, should we switch gears a little bit and talk about what's upcoming for the MNTCC? That's a little broadband of some things that are to come for the MNTCC and the Middle of the Res Road podcast.
Yeah, well, in honor of season 2, we're going to do our ribbon cutting to kick things off, as we're, a part of one another, Is that a part of one another?
Yes.
Okay.
Part of one another.
A part
in
of one another
collaboration.
in collaboration.
All of those
partnership.
Good words.
So that is exciting.
I was going to ask you one thing, Morgan. How do people become involved with the MNTCC? That's, I think, is a very great question. How can people out there that want to be a part of the MNTCC be more involved with what goes on with the MNTCC?
Well, we're always looking for volunteers. We're also looking to expand our board, our advisory board. So if anyone is interested in taking a role in part of that, we'd love to hear from you. And you can sign up to be a member or a contributor on our website, which is mn-tcc.com.
Okay, and we'll be able to get that posted on our social media website too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could get a little something written up and posted from our social media expert.
Absolutely. Shout out to Lou.
Yeah. Shout out to Alyssa. That's our social media expert over there. And Ricky, one of our very knowledgeable editors and producers. So he does a very wonderful job in the work that they do behind the scenes. And I always I never want to neglect to give them their shout out, because they're the ones who do a lot of the work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You guys are a great team.
So we have some upcoming events coming up.
Yeah,
and
so the next big one for the MNTCC will be the golf tournament, June 22nd at Grand Casino.
Grand Casino, I thought it was Fortune Bay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Fortune Bay.
Oh, okay. So we're at Grand Casino Hinckley now.
Yeah.
Nice. That'll work.
They got a nice, golf course.
Okay, so if I wanted to mention this to some friends and family or people in the community, how could I get them to be a part of that? How can I get them to, what's it going to take for them to be a part of the golfing event?
They can sign up on our website as well, mntcc.com. We also have flyers, downloadable flyers on our website, social media. They can just follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn.
Is it free?
So it's not free. So there is a price, but that covers lunch, a bagged lunch on the course, and it covers like a light dinner afterwards for the awards.
Nice.
And your full golf round.
Nice. So, that's fun because then we can all be around one another and enjoy everyone's company.
Are you guys golfers?
I'm a golfer.
Are you?
Yeah,
I'm a good trier. I try really hard.
Slicing.
Yeah, but I own clubs. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
you do?
Yes, I do. So does Charlie. Charlie's probably spent 3 times more than me on his clubs, and he's had his clubs since he was a young boy.
No. My golf clubs are from 2017, 2018. I haven't golfed for a while, but I might try the tournament.
Yeah.
I might try more tournaments. I don't know. I was thinking about signing up for men's league too, but for the tournament, is there going to be a skins game?
There is.
How much is that?
I don't know.
We don't know yet.
No.
So there's going to be a skins game.
Isn't it usually like $20?
20, 50, 100, whatever people want to put up for it. 50 is a good number.
Is
for a
it?
tournament.
Okay.
Yes, 50 is a good number for the tournament.
I don't think I've exclusively decided on how much, so.
Do you golf, Morgan?
No.
Oh, okay. So you'll be there.
I'll be there. So this is technically the MNTCC's second annual golf tournament. They had one last summer before I officially took this position, and I attended. And it ended up being 90 degrees, and I wore jeans. I didn't know what to wear to a golf tournament. I was in jeans and a dress shirt.
Yeah, you probably want to wear some golfing attire.
Yeah.
Like when you go golfing. But before we get into anything else, I wanted to give a shout out to our new musical artist that opens up our show. It's Ian Martin, Niggy Goontz Martin. We all know him by. He did our music for the season 2 open, and that's I just really want to put a big miigwech out to him because his music is always very valuable, especially in the Native community, and him being a local member of the community. I just think what he does is just amazing, and he does it for not only for the people but for the other children. And I just wanted to say thank you, Ian. Aho.
Yeah, miigwech, Ian. And I really appreciate what he's going to bring to the podcast and with his music. And I know that he recorded 2 songs for it, right?
Yes,
one sidestep and one regular Bwani Nugamun, as we say in the language. Yeah, he's just a awesome young man who's doing a lot of good work within the communities. And what I really appreciate about Ian is whenever somebody asks him to do something, it's not about what he can get out of it. That's what I really appreciate about him. And when we asked him to make a song for the podcast, he said yes, and he wasn't concerned about what he was going to get out of it, or you need to pay me X amount of dollars, or you make sure you do this and this. He didn't even ask to have a shout out about it. So, he's just a humble young man trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. And one of the things that he knows that he wants to do with his life is to sing and to help people out and to give back to the community. And I think that's a good start for a 17-year-old man. It's a really good start, and props to him for knowing that about himself.
Absolutely. I love the new music. Brings a whole new vibe, I should say.
Yes, it does.
Excitement.
And especially to have, someone local from our neighborhood and somebody we see on the regular to be able to promote somebody, and that's very youthful like that and very outgoing is what I would say. And I just really appreciate that. And I would love to see us, support more of our locals and stuff like that. And that's, that's where I'm at with it.
Support local.
Local businesses, local business owners, local
minorities.
yes, artists. There you go. That's a good start to bring our own community up.
I love it. Season 2 is off to exciting things.
It really is. It really is.
Hey Morgan, before we wrap this episode up, I was just wondering if you could talk about how weird it is. I don't know if maybe I met you before, or Joel, maybe you met Joel before. I never met Ricky before, and I knew Lou existed, but we never really communicated. But it's kind of weird how you can grow up in, the Fond du Lac Reservation is 100,000 acres of land, and it's a smaller community, and everybody seems to really know each other. But it's still weird at the same time when you can meet new people for the first time that's been around here for a long time. Like for you and me, or Joel and you, or Ricky and me, it's just weird that there's people out there that you get connected with and you just never know.
That is
who's
weird.
Out there.
I've never met you before, coming on to this, bringing us together.
That is, and I've never heard of you before. That's and we're basically around the same area for the last 20 years, 30 years. I remember I went to high school out here in Fond du Lac, and there's so many people out here that I have yet to meet.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. So I didn't grow up on the Fond du Lac Reservation. I think my mom and I moved here when I was maybe 13, 14. So I'm not too familiar. My mom's kind of, she just kind of kept to herself and, minded her P's and Q's. But now that I'm an adult and trying to reconnect and meet new people and be more involved, I guess it's just a learning curve, I think. And I didn't know you either, but I think I've heard of you, and I think we're related.
How?
I don't know.
Somewhere. Everybody's related.
Yeah, everybody's cousins out here.
Yeah.
That's how it is on Fond du Lac. Like there's some way, somehow.
Through the grapevine.
Through the grapevine, yeah, like even extended, it extends to other reservations and stuff like that. But Morgan, one more thing. You are a member of Fond du Lac?
Fond du Lac, yes.
Yeah, that's really awesome to know that. Like, I was very unaware of that when I first met you, and then to find that out, it's like...
Yeah. So, fun fact, I didn't get enrolled until I was 21. So I feel like my relationship or like being Indigenous or being a part of a reservation is still new, and I'm still trying to learn. But yeah, there was a goofy family mix-up where my grandpa was from Grand Portage. So once they found that bloodline, I was able to, raise my blood quantum. So it's just a wild experience and journey.
Congratulations, though, on finding that.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
That's part of your identity, and that's part of who you are and where you came from, and that's important. Especially, all Native people need that.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have some roots up in Grand Portage then
Mm-hmm.
that you know about, that you...
Yeah, so I was probably introduced to my grandpa when I was 21, 22. But he recently passed just in the last couple months. So he's taken me up there a couple times. All his family is up there. His sister, nieces, nephews.
And how many family members on Fond du Lac do you have?
I don't know. I mean, my
You
mom.
haven't checked out?
My mom. I don't really know.
What's your original family name?
Northrop.
Northrop.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Not related to Northrops.
Oh, maybe we aren't related.
Northrops, yeah, the Northrop family is huge though, and
It is.
everybody seems to be connected in one way or another.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
the Northrops primarily are from Sawyer, but they're an awesome group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Always doing really traditional Ojibwe activities. If it's on the drum, if it's sugar bushing, ricing, champion ricers, and then their niche is still doing sugar bush out in the bush. And that's what they do. They go out in the woods, do the sugar bush, bring their kettles out there, finish it out there, and bring everything back home. I really like that about the Northrops.
So you came a long ways.
Yeah.
You came
And
a long ways
still feel
to
it.
revealing yourself and being to where you want to be today.
Yeah, but I still feel like I have a long way to go.
Have you riced yet?
Mm-mm.
Have you sugar bushed yet?
Mm-mm.
There you go.
Yeah, see?
Those are good starts.
Mm-hmm.
Have you danced or sang at a powwow?
Yeah, I've danced.
Yeah, there you go. That's you feel connected to that?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And I feel like my kids help me with that. My youngest, who's 7, he's super into all that, and he has a good interest of it.
That's
So
and you got to think he might have inherited that from you
Yeah.
in your genes, because now he knows that that's his way of life and that's your way of life, and that's a very very good gift that you get to give to your children, that where they could feel like a part of something.
absolutely.
Oh,
I like how you said that way of life. That is in any one of my trainings, any one of the culturally responsive trainings that I'm a part of, that I take part in, culture is defined. We try to define everything we do in the trainings, and anything that we do programmatically. Culture equals a way of life. So that's really important. That just, to have that culture, that way of life. Like for me, I didn't start racing until I was 25, about 25, 26, somewhere in there. So I've only been racing for like the last 9 years. And what I did is I found one of my cousins who was super good at it, really knowledgeable, and I just begged him, said, let me race with you. And he told me no forever. No, you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to paddle. You don't know how to pull. And I just kept asking him. I knew how to be in a canoe. I was in a canoe ever since I was a kid. But I didn't know how to pull, or I didn't know how to paddle through the race. So it was a learning curve there, and I just kept at it. And now I've been racing for at least 10 years. And then sugar bush, I never sugar bushed for, I think I started doing my own sugar bush when I was like 28, 29. And so for the last 6 years, been doing a sugar bush, and that's a learning curve. And if you want to learn something culturally related, that's who we are as a people, and you just have to go for it. Otherwise you won't know. And maybe sugar bushing ain't your thing. Maybe you don't like carrying a bunch of sap through the woods and then boiling it down and waiting hours for it to boil down to syrup or sugar. But if you never try it, then you don't know. But I don't think all those cultural activities equal who you are as a person as well.
my grandma was awesome at picking berries. I've never saw someone pick berries so fast.
Oh.
Like my grandma would sit by the berry bush. The bears would come in and mess around on the tree she's picking on, and she'd just say something in Ojibwe, and like Bazan, and the bear would run away. So I mean, our elders just had that. I would say centeredness about them, where what they were doing, they're being respectful, and the animal was trying to eat, and so it was really awesome to hear them stories about our elders and stuff like that. All right, well, we're gonna sign off on this episode. Thank you for coming, Morgan.
Thank you. I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited to be working alongside you guys. You guys are inspiring, to say the least.
Thank you for coming on. That's very brave of you, and you're practicing 7 teachings Bravery. Look at that.
Hey.
Hey.
Wait, Sana, that means take care.
Gigawabumen. Minawa.